Hello everyone, I am Praveena from 3rd B.Sc Computer Science. I am here to review the book Hamlet, written by William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare was an English playwright, poet, and actor. He is widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language and the world's greatest dramatist. He is often called England's national poet and Bard of Avon. His extant works, including collaboration, consist of some plays, 39 plays, 154 sonnets, 3 long narrative poems, and a few other verses, some of uncertain authorship. His plays have been translated into every major living language and are performed more often than those of any other playwright. His works continue to be studied and reinterpreted. Shakespeare was born and raised in Stanford-upon-Avon. Shakespeare produced most of his known works between 1589 and 1613. His early plays were primarily comedies and histories and are regarded as some of the best work produced in these genres. He then wrote mainly tragedies until 1608, among them Hamlet, Romeo and Juliet, Othello, King Lear and Macbeth, all considered to be among the finest work in the English language. Late at night, gods on the battlements of Denmark's Ellesnor Castle are met by Horatio, Prince Hamlet's friend from school. The gods describe as ghosts they have seen that resembles Hamlet's father, the recently deceased king. At that moment, the ghost reappears and the gods and Horatio decide to tell Hamlet. Claudius, Hamlet's uncle, married Hamlet's recently widowed mother, becoming the new king of Denmark. Hamlet continues to mourn for his father's death and laments his mother's lack of loyalty. Then Hamlet hears of the ghost from Horatio. He wants to see it for himself. Elsewhere, the loyalty attendant Polonius says farewell to his son Latus, who is departing for France. Latus wants his sister Ophelia away from Hamlet and thinking too much of his attention towards her. The ghost appears to Hamlet, claiming indeed to be the ghost of his father. He tells Hamlet about how Claudius, the current king and the Hamlet's uncle, murdered him, and Hamlet swears vengeance for his father. Hamlet decides to feign madness while he tests the truth of the ghost allegations. According to his plan, Hamlet begins to act strangely. He rejects Ophelia while Claudius and Polonius, the royal attendants, spy on him. They had hoped to find the reason for Hamlet's sudden change in behavior but could not. Claudius summoned Guildenstern and Rosencrantz, old friends of Hamlet, to find out what's going on him. Their arrival coincides with a group of traveling actors that Hamlet happens to know well. Hamlet writes a play which includes scenes that mimic the murder of Hamlet's father. During rehearsal, Hamlet and the actor plot to present Hamlet's play before the king and queen. At the performance, Hamlet watches Claudius closely to see how he reacts. The play provokes Claudius and he interrupts the action by storming out. He immediately resolves to send Hamlet away. Hamlet is summoned by his distressed mother, Gertrude, and on the way, he happens upon Claudius kneeling and attempting to pray. Hamlet reasoned that to kill the king now would only send his soul to heaven rather than hell. Hamlet decides to spare his life for the time being. Polonius hides in Gertrude's room to protect her from her unpredictable son. When Hamlet arrives to scold his mother, he hears Polonius moving behind the arras. He stabs the tapestry and in so doing kills Polonius. The ghost of Hamlet's father reappears and warns his son not to delay revenge or upset his mother. Hamlet is sent to England, supposedly as an ambassador, just as King Fortinbras of Norway crosses Denmark with an army to attack Poland. During his journey, Hamlet discovers Claudius has a plan to have him killed once he arrives. He returns to Denmark alone, sending his companions Rosencrantz and Guildenstern to their deaths in his place. Rejected by Hamlet, Ophelia is now desolate at the loss of her father. She goes mad and drowns. On the way back to Denmark, Hamlet meets Horatio in the graveyard where they talk of a chance of life and death. Ophelia's funeral procession arrives at the very same graveyard. Hamlet confronts Latus, Ophelia's brother, who has taken his father's place at the court. A duel is arranged between Hamlet and Latus. During the match, Claudius conspires with Latus to kill Hamlet. They plan that Hamlet will die either on a poisoned viper or with poisoned wine. The plan goes awry when Gertrude unwillingly drinks from the poisoned cup and dies. Then both Latus and Hamlet are wounded by the poisoned blade and Latus died. Hamlet in his death throes kills Claudius. Hamlet dies, leaving only his friends Horatio to explain the truth to the new king Fortinbras as he returns in the victory from the Polish wars.